Hey everybody, it's time for another Gundam Seed Robot Damashii review, and finally I've done a lot of them, or at least it seems like I've done a lot. It's finally time for Robot Damashii number 100. It's in this nice little silver shiny foil there. This is the Strike Gundam, Aile Strike as a matter of fact. Now this was the first Gundam from the Seed series to be made in Robot Damashii form, and I was going to wait until after the Aegis and Blitz came out, but just fuck that. So let's go ahead and get right into the review for the Aile Strike Gundam. For the accessories, we're going to start off with just the essentials of what the Strike Gundam comes with by itself. And of course, we get the nice little shield. This is quite smaller than the, MSIA version we've seen in the past. You'll also get a little connector part for the forearm to connect the shield and the forearm together. What are these called? Oops, those are hands. The Schneider blades? Can't remember. But you get two of those. These do not fold out or go on or inside the skirt armor of the Strike at all. Like any good Robot Damashii, you get a number of different hands, including some trigger finger hands, some open posing hands, and some beam saber holding or knife holding hands. Also, you're going to get a nice little beam rifle with the only articulation on this being the little side handle there. Swings out. Actually looks really different from what I remember. But anyways, last but not least, something that doesn't go with the Aile pack is the connector piece for the Damashii stage. The Aile pack is really neat to see in Damashii form. Let's see, what to start with. Well, let's start with the wings. These can actually fold down for convenience, I guess, and then fold back up for when they're in use. These little pods on the bottom, these thrusters, they are actually detachable, but they do have some articulation. They're in there or they're attached by a ball joint, and they can swerve around and do all sorts of stuff. They actually are on a hinge joint as well, so they can move towards the body of the Strike and then towards the fin area of the back of the Aile pack. Now, also something that's iconic with the Aile pack are its beam sabers that go with it. Now, these do come with detachable beam saber blades. I don't know why I have to go over that, but anyways, I'm a little surprised because these blades are a lot shorter than the MSIA blades. I know they're different toy lines, but still, I kind of thought they were going to be a little bit longer, and so it's just a little bit of a surprise. These are really short. And I think compared to the Dual Gundams, which has the same hilts but different blades, I mean, those are much longer. So I was really expecting these to be a little bit more dangerous looking. Last but not least for the accessories is the Damashii stage that these Seed figures have been coming with. Now this one's blue for the Strike. Let me remember now. Dual got a orange. Am I correct there? Yeah, Dual got an orange, and the Buster got a green. So I wonder what color the Aegis and the Blitz will come with. But in any case, really nice little feature. I wish a lot more figures came with these, but oh well, it's still nice. I mean, it was actually the figures are actually very, very cheap to have these little stages. So really cool. A quick look at the figure from head to toe before I get into articulation. It's a very, very different design, or a very much stylized design of the Strike from what we've seen with the MSIA version. There are a few little key differences, namely the chest. It's much more blunt and closer to the mobile suit than the MSIA version. The MSIA version had a little bit of a more broader or extending point. So I thought that was okay, I guess. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. The only downside I see with this figure is that, if I can have the camera focus good, is that the face, the eyes are just painted way too low. I don't know if this was just my figure or that's how they all are, but it just looks very, very off. The eyes being just down there, really sad. But anyways, let's go ahead and show the strikes articulation and then give you the verdict of what I think of this figure. Before I begin showing everything off, I just want to say that I expected a lot of articulation from this figure when it was announced. Just basing stuff off the show, I mean, from the show itself, we saw this Gundam do a lot of crazy stuff, and if, you know, Robot Damashii, they're known for just trying to make a figure that can do the same poses and stuff like that that its animated counterpart can do. So in any case, this guy does not disappoint. He has articulation up the ass to start with, just to get it out of the way. And this is the simple stuff that we all know that comes with most Robot Damashis. Double joints in the elbows and in the knees. I'll show those in a second. Also, he has ball jointed feet, and I'll show those as well. Now, starting from the head, he has a nice ball jointed head, and it gives him that chicken neck deal, which, yeah, I don't care about. But anyways, 360 in the arms. He can also bend out about that much before the shoulder armor starts poking into the head itself. He can also turn 360 for the biceps. Now, his shoulders can extend forward just a little bit, and you can see that gray part kind of sticking out from the torso. He can't bend his arms back as much as he can forward. So that's a little bit, well, I guess that's not annoying. I don't really care about that. Now, he has some really funny looking articulation in the chest. I'm assuming it's just, let's see, I'm guessing it's just 2 points of articulation. And he can bend forward about yay big, or yay much, and only bend back that much. So it's not much in the chest, but he has it where it counts. The skirt armor is all pretty much separated. Yeah, it's all separated. So he has lots of articulation and nothing's hindering him. Like I said, the skirt armor does not house the Schneider blades. So I mean, I guess that's a little bit of a downside for me, because I like to have the figures hold the blades and everything. And like I said, double joints in the knees, and if you want to see the bend in the elbows as well, both sides right there. Ball joints for the hands, and it has that funny ball joint that I don't really like. But something that's also unique to these Seed figures is the way their upper hip connects with the legs. Can turn at the upper hip as well, 360 like that. But anyways, that's just a weird joint to have the legs, as I've seen with other Robot Damashis. Anyways, ankle armor is connected by a ball joint. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. So it can move all sorts of ways, and then the toes can be pointed, and you can do nice little ballet moves if you want them to do it. Let's see. Other than that, nothing out of the ordinary. The very basic suit, but with a lot of nice articulation. I can't wait to get the strike daggers to compare it to, because they're the same. They're supposed to be based on the strike. So let me try and get them a good pose before I cut this part. Yeah. So let's go ahead and put on the accessories like the ale pack and the shield, and give you my final thoughts on everything, huh? Just to make sure you guys know about this, when you're placing the shield on the forearm, you can place it in 2 different holes for the peg, upper and a little bit lower towards the hand. It doesn't really matter, but it's just nice to have that little choice of putting it lower or not. So here's the ale strike with its backpack on. Let me just note right now that backpack is very, 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 very heavy, and I have to prop him against the wall in order for him not to fall down. I guess that's why they include these little stages with the figures, so they don't topple over. But all in all, it looks pretty good. Pretty darn good. I've gone ahead and put the strike on his stand, and so now I guess I can just give you guys my final thoughts on this figure. Comparing him to the Buster and the Duel, this figure is a little bit flimsy, and that's generally the case whenever you have a bunch of articulation. Now, don't get me wrong, the Buster and the Duel, they have the same, I want to say the same amount of articulation, but I don't think it's as bad because they don't have this huge backpack on them. Now, I haven't tried putting the Ale pack on the Duel or the Buster, even though you can do that. So I can't say if that's completely the case, but it's just with this figure, and I got this used, he's quite loose, and that's kind of annoying, especially when you're just trying to pose him and stuff, and it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good at all. Now, another bad side is this horrible job on the face that doesn't want to focus. Let's go focus. There we go. Doesn't want to focus, and there's a better shot. They're just too low, and it just looks very, very weird. I don't like it at all. Now, if I move the camera a little bit, it can kind of fix. Yeah, I can fix it. So now the Gundam looks fine. Looks like a fine, normal-looking Gundam face, and now it doesn't. Looks like he's. Yeah, it's just weird to me. Anyways, the shield is a little bit smaller. That's not a bad thing, I guess. The thing you have to remember is that Robot Damashii Bandai, they stylize the Seed figures, and for the most part, they all look good. The Duel looks good. The Buster looks good. So it's not a bad thing. Plus, you get a nice little stage, and that's really, really cool, especially for the price you get these figures at. The only downside to that is that you really wish other Robot Damashis like the Wing Zero or any other figures would come with them. Other than that, really great figure and pretty cheap. Also, another plus, I forget to mention this, is that it comes with interchangeable parts for the blaster and the sword pack. Now, I haven't gotten those myself, but I intend to and review all those, so I should talk about those on a later day. But that's a really cool plus to this figure. And so you can also put those parts on the Duel and the Buster as well. So really, really, it's a cool figure. Would I get it before the Buster or the Duel? No, not really. But if you are a Gundam Seed fan, and let me just make this clear. I know I don't like Gundam Seed Destiny. I enjoyed Gundam Seed, but I didn't like Seed Destiny. Seed Destiny pretty much just copied Gundam Seed, and that was it. That's called laziness. I don't like laziness. But Gundam Seed was quite a little bit original, and it copied parts from the Gundam universe that were acceptable. So it's a good series and everything, and it brought out a lot of really interesting designs, and this was one of them. So all in all, it's a good figure. I would definitely get him last, comparing him to all the others. But if you're a fan of the Strike, then go ahead and get him. He's not that much, and yeah, you could have fun getting all those parts for him. So thanks for watching, guys. Hit the like or dislike button, comment as always, and be sure to subscribe for videos, contests, which one is coming up very, very soon for December, and other stuff. All right, guys, take care.